Hello, I'm Mrs. Bolden, and welcome to the Extreme Biology Podcast. We're here to help you understand more and stress less about biology. Clear your mind and get ready to learn about the living world around you. Today on the Extreme Biology Podcast, we're going to talk about symbiotic interactions in ecosystems. Symbiotic relationships are when there are two more species living together very, very closely. An example of one would be mutualism, where both organisms benefit. This is a really great ecological interaction because that means that both benefit without either one being harmed. An example are lichens, which are something you see quite often on rocks and trees and such. And a lichen is not really one organism, it's actually two organisms. It's a fungi and an algae together. They live in places that neither one of them can live if they were by themselves. The great thing for the algae is it gets a place to live, and the fungi gets food from the algae. So both things are getting something out of the relationship. Other examples of symbiotic relationships are bacteria that live in your intestine. They get a nice place that is free of predators to live, and you get the benefits of the vitamins that they make. There's also a little microcritter that lives in the intestines of a termite. Termites are kind of famous for being able to eat wood, but they might be able to eat wood, but they can't actually get any of the nutrients out of it, and that's why they need the microcritter. Another type of symbiotic relationship is commensalism. That's when one benefits in a relationship, but the other one isn't harmed or benefited, so it's kind of a one-sided relationship. An example would be an orchid that lives in the rainforest. Orchids need light, and as you know, the floor of the rainforest is very, very dark, so orchids have actually adapted themselves so that they don't have to use any soil to grow. They can actually grow in the bark of a tree. So they grow on the very, very tall trees so that they're able to get up toward the canopy. This doesn't actually hurt the tree itself, and it doesn't benefit it either. Another example of commensalism is something that you probably have seen before if you've ever seen the movie Finding Nemo. That's the clownfish and the sea anemone. The clownfish gets a nice, safe place to live, but the sea anemone doesn't really get a whole lot out of the relationship. The last symbiotic relationship that I want to talk about is parasitism, and this one is really, really interesting. It's when one organism benefits but the other one is harmed. So one organism is living at the expense of another. An example that you probably have heard of is dogs and tapeworms. Tapeworm would be the parasite and the dog would be the host. The tapeworm takes the nutrients from the dog, and the dog gets malnourished. If you've ever seen a dog that's had a tapeworm, they eat and eat and eat and eat and still get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier because the tapeworm is growing bigger and bigger inside and taking up more and more nutrients. A common misconception is that people think that the parasite will actually kill the organism, and that's not its goal at all, because it doesn't want the host to die, because if the host dies, then it's going to have to find another host. Some other parasites that you may have heard of are heartworm. Oftentimes you have to give your dog or cat some pills in the summertime when the mosquitoes are out, and because the mosquito bite can have the heartworm parasite in it, and it can actually kill your dog. Another one is ticks. A lot of people in this area are now becoming very aware of ticks because they carry Lyme disease, which is a very difficult thing to have to deal with. Fleas are also examples of parasites. Fleas on people, fleas on dogs, fleas on cats, fleas on just about any animal. And leeches are another example of parasitism. Leeches exist on the blood of humans and other organisms, and they're not uncommon in this area. If you go swimming in a lake or a stream that's very, very slow moving, oftentimes there are leeches in the water, and you might come out with one on you. Not really a big deal. You probably didn't even know it was on you until somebody told you. And will do it for this topic. Hope this helps you to understand biology just a little bit better. As you review this material in your notes, remember, if you can't explain it, you don't understand it.